2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6, the striking swoopy electric vehicle. Subscribe to Electric Vehicle News Bitesize podcast for free. Another step in Hyundai's relentless push toward mainstream electric vehicle dominance. Tesla may grab the headlines, but Hyundai Motor Group has slipped under the radar in the race for UK mass-market electric vehicle dominance. Thanks to well-built, well-equipped, and affordable models such as the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kona Electric, the Kia EV6 and Niro EV, and the newly launched Genesis GV60, Hyundai Motor Group took the top spot in the US electric vehicle market earlier this year, ahead of Ford, Nissan, and Volkswagen. Of course, Hyundai Motor Group is still well behind Tesla in total electric vehicle sales. But there's no doubting the company's ambitions in this area. The 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6 will go on sale here in the first half of 2023, marking a relentless move by Hyundai to spend £16 billion to launch more than 30 electric vehicles by 2030, with a goal of selling 3 million electric vehicles per year. But first, get to know the Ioniq 6. Simply put, the Ioniq 6 is the production version of the swoopy prophecy concept introduced in 2020. The vehicle charges using 800-volt electrical architecture. Hyundai hasn't announced any powertrain details, but it's reasonable to assume the Ioniq 6 will have the same electric motor and battery configuration as the Ioniq 5. That means a rear-drive model with a 225 horsepower, 258 pound-to-foot motor powered by a choice of 58 kWh or 77.4 kWh battery packs, plus an AWD model with a bigger battery pack and a 99 horsepower, 188 pound-to-foot motor at the front axle to bring the total output to 320 horsepower and 446 pounds-to-foot. The 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6 has a 116.1-inch wheelbase, which neatly divides the difference between the 118.1-inch Ioniq 5 and the 114.1-inch EV6. Simon Loseby, head of Hyundai's styling group, said the Ioniq 6 was originally planned to share the EV6's wheelbase, but designers worked hard for the extra inches to improve the car's proportions. The longer wheelbase brings another important advantage: more space for rear passengers. Although the Ioniq 6 is 5 inches shorter overall than a Honda Accord, the Ioniq 6 has nearly the same rear knee and legroom as the saloon, although the battery pack means the seat base is closer to the ground than a combustion engine car. One of the original names considered for the Ioniq 6 was Streamliner. Hyundai's head of global design, Sang-Yup Lee, says. "We decided on Ioniq 6, but I always see a Streamliner badge underneath," jokes Lee, who referenced images of iconic wind-cheating cars such as the Scout Scarab and Phantom Corsair from the late 1930s and the 1947 Saab 92 during the media preview for the new Hyundai. "It's a simple, reductive design," Lee says of the Ioniq 6's slippery silhouette, with its low bonnet, cab-forward stance, and swooping greenhouse. "It's a pure volume, a proportion you cannot do with an internal combustion engine vehicle. It doesn't just look like a wind cheater, every surface of the Ioniq 6 has been wind-tunneled to achieve a claimed drag coefficient of 0.21, which will make the Ioniq 6 as slippery as a Tesla Model 3. Cool details abound. The upper element at the rear vaguely resembles the shape of the whaletail spoiler of an old Porsche 911, with a pixel-light graphic on top. The way the rear bumper flow inwards towards the top of the boot lid is reminiscent of the shape found on old 911s and the BMW 6 Series from the Bengal era. Lee's team tried everything they could to get rid of the rooftop shark fin antenna, but when they found it couldn't be done for technical reasons, they made it out of a dark, translucent material so you could see the electronic hardware inside. But the relentless pursuit of the streamlined idea has led to awkward design details like the C-pillar's cut line, an inevitable byproduct of the need to have a boot lid that extends to the top of the rear bumper. Then there's the way the rear door's cut line extends to the roof side rails to allow the door's top frame to improve rear access. These are minor issues that aren't noticeable on dark cars. Personally, the Ioniq 6 has an amazing presence. The Ioniq 6's spacious, well-appointed interior has a premium feel that makes Volkswagen's ID.4 interior look cheap, and all Tesla cabins are austere. Variable ambient lighting is standard, but light bounces off the door panel surface so you can't see the light source. There are no modern logos on the steering wheel, just 4 pixels that change color, white when activated with voice, and green to indicate the car is charging. The digital instrument panel is a 12.0-inch display with a second 12.0-inch touchscreen for the infotainment system above the center stack. Since the UK is more likely to get traditional mirrors than cameras in other markets, there won't be a flickering screen on the wings at either end of the dash. 2 interiors will be offered, both made from a variety of sustainable materials, including fabrics made from recycled plastic, carpets made from recycled fishing nets and leather dyed with linseed oil. Hyundai offers a total of 12 exterior paint colors for the Ioniq 6, including gold and green matte finishes using bamboo charcoal pigments, but it's uncertain how many of them will make their way to the UK. Depending on the specs, the Ioniq 6 will be available with 18 inches wheels and 225/55 tires or 20 inches wheels with 245/40 tires. Hyundai sources say the Ioniq 6 will be priced lower than the smaller Tesla Model 3 when it goes on sale next year. In terms of overall size, the Ioniq 6 is an intermediate version of the Model 3 and Model S, has a roomier back seat than either. It also looked great value for money and had an eye-catching design, both of which quickly became the calling card of the Ioniq brand. Please give Electric Vehicle News Bitesize podcast a 5-star review to help us grow our audience. Subscribe to the Electric Vehicle News Bitesize podcast for free on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Deezer, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Gaana, Samsung Podcasts, Google News and the Electric Vehicle News Bitesize Alexa skill. For more articles and episodes, visit Electric Vehicles and Renewable Energy Jobs News. Subscribe to Electric Vehicle News Bitesize podcast for free.